Broadcasting live from Dar es Salaam, this is TVC News, our top stories. CCM Central Committee meets in Dodoma. Dar bids farewell to political veteran Professor Sarungi. Government defends Tanzania-Ethiopia power deal. Good evening, I am Teddy Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. Chairperson of Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, has led ordinary Central Committee meeting held in Dodoma today. The meeting was attended by CCM Vice Chairman Stephen Wasira, the party Secretary General Emmanuel Nchimbi, Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa, and other officials. Hundreds of Dar es Salaam residents have bid farewell to Tanzania's renowned surgeon and veteran politician Professor Philemon Sarungi at Karimjee grounds led by various government and political party leaders as well as religious leaders. Here's a report by Zatifa Ramadhani read by Kanki Magumole.
The sad day brings together Dar es Salaam residents, political parties and government leaders to pay their last respects to the renowned surgeon and politician who served Tanzanians in various fields, including the health sector, parliament, and in various ministries.
In this world, we are passing by, but the good memories of our deeds will remain as a story. Let us remember Professor Sarungi for the great deeds he did that have left a very big mark.
Kuhusu namna ya kumuenzi zaidi kwa matendo profesa ni jambo moja la heri sana.
Honoring a professor through actions is a very good thing, and I support it. We have lost a comrade. The country has lost a leader for all that has been discussed here and for the coming generation. Let's see if we will have someone like Sarungi in the service of this nation.
The day also brings together various political party leaders who say the professor has left a great legacy.
I think it is wise to say that he has protected his faith for his people. The presence of people like Sarungi gives us hope that it is possible to create a better society. Goodbye, our leader. We will respect you, and I believe our parliamentarians will do what is right for the sake of the nation.
Professor Philemon Sarungi, who was a former MP for Ororia, passed away on 5th of March 2025 at his home in Oysterbay, Dar es Salaam, following a heart attack, and was buried today on March the 10th at the Kinondoni Cemetery. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Kanki Moigomole, TBC.
And on to the next news. The Tanzania Meteorological Authority, TMA, has issued information about the presence of Tropical Cyclone Jude over the Indian Ocean in the Mozambique Channel. The analysis of weather systems indicates that the tropical cyclone will make landfall in Mozambique this afternoon, 10th of March 2025, and subsequently weaken. However, the tropical cyclone Jude is expected to re-enter the ocean and intensify between 13th and 15th March 2025. Due to its orientation and distance, the tropical cyclone Jude is not expected to have direct impacts over the country. However, its presence in the Mozambique Channel is expected to influence weather systems in the country, leading to enhanced rainfall in various areas. The Permanent Secretary Ministry of Energy, Feltesmi Mramba, says the purchase of 100 megawatts of electricity from Ethiopia aims to boost national grid system in the northern region, generating sufficient voltage for electricity supply in the northern region. Here are more details.
Providing the technical explanation in Dar es Salaam, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Energy, Felices Mimramba, says the decision targets to the 17 megawatts of electricity lost due to distance from the coast region and the southern region to the northern region.
Ili kutatua changamoto hiyo,
to solve this challenge, one thing that needs to be done is to establish a source of electricity generation in the northern regions, and secondly, to establish a power generation plant to import electricity into these regions from another system. We have made an agreement with Ethiopia, so the electricity will come from Ethiopia and will enter through Namanga.
Kwa hiyo umeme utakuja kutoka Ethiopia utaingilia Namanga.
He furthermore says the electricity that will be purchased from Ethiopia will use the existing electricity meters in Namanga, clarifying that the cost of the electricity is 7.7 US cents per unit, cost that is much lower compared to the cost of constructing new power plants to improve the power supply in the region.
Zikishaingia kwenye grid ya Kenya,
once it enters the Kenya grid, we shall install another meter between Tanzania and Namanga, Kenya. So Kenya will release 100 megawatts from its system and it will enter into Tanzania, but the origin of that electricity is Ethiopia.
Kwa ajili ya kupitisha ule umeme.
However, the permanent secretary says the current megawatt situation is satisfying with the country current situation, generating 37,096 megawatts.
Sasa hivi, jumla ya umeme unaozalishwa ndani ya nchi.
Currently, the total electricity generation with the country is 3,796 megawatts, and the electricity required in the country is 2,200 megawatts, including regions that are outside the grid system.
The permanent secretary, Felices Mimramba, says the government aims to sell electricity to Burundi, Rwanda, and Zambia after the completion of the transmission infrastructure. Antonia Kivaria, TBC News.
Energy is the lifeblood of development. From powering industries to lighting up homes, a reliable energy sector fuels progress. In Tanzania, one leader has been at the forefront of a transformative journey. Since assuming office in 2021, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has championed an ambitious energy agenda, expanding electricity access, investing in renewables, and spearheading a clean cooking revolution. Aiden Gaga takes us through 4 years of President Samia and the progress in the energy sector.
Excellencies, in order to overcome hurdles impeding energy access, we need to take bold actions.
Over the past 4 years, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has made significant strides in Tanzania's energy sector, focusing on sustainability, infrastructure development, and regional collaboration. Since President Samia Suluhu Hassan took office in March 2021, the country's energy sector has undergone remarkable transformation. This is because she set ambitious goals to increase electricity access. And today, Tanzania is working towards a bold vision to achieve 72% national electricity connectivity by 2030. But where were we in the past, and how far have we come?
Yeah, we have done so much on the energy generation, which is very critical, because if you want to power your people, the first part that you have to address is the generation part. And currently, our energy mix stand up at 56%. We generate electricity from the hydro. The natural gas also is part of our source, and renewables, which we are doing so well currently. And we are happy that now we can generate close to 3,000 megawatts, more than 3,000 megawatts. And if you compare with the demand that is required in the country, which is 1,800, we can see we have some surplus. And that is the situation. We are confident that we are energy sufficient currently, and we hope we'll do more because we are developing other sources for energy.
In January 2025, the country hosted the Mission 300 Africa Energy Summit in Dar es Salaam. This summit underscored Tanzania's commitment to sustainable energy solutions and its role in shaping Africa's energy future.
We are honored to host this African Heads of State Energy Summit, and we welcome the important deliberations on ensuring access to reliable and affordable and sustainable energy for all in Africa. With that being said, this summit goes beyond energy access. It is about empowering families, lifting millions out of poverty, and providing hope and opportunities for youth. It is about our commitment to economic transformation, fostering industries, creating jobs, and sparking innovation across Africa.
A landmark achievement during her tenure is the continued implementation of the Julius Nyerere hydropower project in the Rufiji region, which is now at 99.8%. This project is expected to significantly boost the nation's energy supply, supporting both domestic needs and industrial growth.
Being a country which has developed really by having surplus energy, we are looked at as a country which is going to be the source of energy across neighboring countries.
President Semesi Luhasen has also been a champion in the clean cooking agenda. By promoting cleaner energy for cooking, the government is improving health outcomes, empowering women, and reducing Tanzania's carbon footprint.
We want to shift from the traditional fossil fuel kind of energy to clean cooking energy, which is mainly electricity, LPG, and many others.
President Semesi Luhasen's leadership in the energy sector is more than just policies. It's about people. It's about empowering businesses, lighting up homes, and ensuring a sustainable future for Tanzania. Faida Ngaga, TBC News.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, is a condition that affects millions of people worldwide. It impacts a person's ability to concentrate and manage tasks. Due to a lack of awareness, children with ADHD are often punished instead of receiving the proper support. In an exclusive interview, Rube Stephen speaks with clinical psychologist Sifa Hiera about ADHD in children, and here she begins by explaining more about ADHD.
It's a neurodevelopmental disorder. When we say neurodevelopmental, we're talking, obviously neuro has to do with your brain, and developmental has to do with development. So one of the causes, as we'll get to, is a slow development or a delayed development in your brain that could lead to ADHD. It happens to children and they grow with it into adulthood. We need to look at inattentiveness, meaning this child is unable to pay attention for longer periods of time, or they can't sit still, they're always here and there. They're impulsive meaning they're constantly interrupting, they're unable to control. Biggest issue is most of these symptoms you would find within a normal context, yeah? A normal child would experience some inattention. There would be some hyperactivity. There would be some impulsivity. But when it starts to affect their daily living, when it starts to affect their work, when it starts to affect their relationships with other people, maybe we need to start assessing if there is either ADHD or there is something else that could be affecting this child.
So from a point of assumption that this person maybe has ADHD, maybe a kid or an adult, from that particular point, is there a way that you can tell this is really ADHD or this is just a laziness?
So I would say in that child, if I think about it, many of those children that do get to me, that actually do end up in therapy with me, you'd find the mother saying or the parents saying, they were not focusing. They can't focus. They're doing poorly at school. They are lazy. They're this, they're that. But then when you come and sit with the child and you start doing the assessments, then you start to see maybe they do have a problem and the parents are not understanding of that problem. So from the point where you as a parent are concerned that maybe my child could be having an issue, then you refer them, either take them to your doctor so they can get checked. If the doctor needs further assessments, they'll probably refer the child to a psychiatrist.
When we looking at in our community with the experience, how common is ADHD right now?
Okay. So one thing that is still something we need to work on, and I'm talking to myself and other fellow researchers out there, we need to do a lot more studies in our country so we can actually understand the extent of the problem. However, from my interactions with other studies online, we're looking at about 2.2 to 17.8% of prevalence of ADHD this is children between the ages of 6 and 17.
In the 4 years of President Samia Suluhu Hassan's leadership, Tanzania has made major progress towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which aims to create gender equality by 2030. Key sectors such as education, health, and leadership have seen remarkable progress through the promotion of gender equality. Caroline Maleo has more details.
When President Samia Suluhu Hassan assumed office in March 2021, she made history as Tanzania's first female president. Over the past 4 years, she has not only solidified her leadership, but has also championed gender equality in ways that have significantly reshaped the country's political and social landscape. Through policy initiatives and advocacy for women's empowerment, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has demonstrated that women can lead. One of the key achievements under her leadership has been the promotion of gender equality in education sector by increasing the enrollment and retention of female students in schools.
Ilikuwa ni kawaida kwa familia kutoa upendeleo kwa mtoto wa kiume dhidi ya mtoto wa kike.
It used to be common for families to favor boys over girls when it comes to education, but due to the great work done by our government, we have now achieved gender equality in education. This year, enrollment data in primary and secondary school shows that there are more girls than boys in both primary and secondary schools. In 2024, university level registration shows that more than 44.95% students are girls, something that was previously difficult for girls to reach university.
Na huku ndio kulikuwa kugumu sana watoto wa kike kutoboa kuingia vyuo vikuu.
In addition, over the past 4 years, the number of female members of parliament has risen, and several women have been appointed to key government positions, including ministers, permanent secretaries, and heads of government agencies. These appointments send a powerful message that leadership is not limited to gender. Her government has also worked towards eliminating structural barriers that have historically hindered women from contesting public office, fostering a more inclusive political environment.
Hali ilivyokuwa huko nyuma.
Previously, in decision-making situation in politics and in government, in private sectors, the situation was not satisfying due to inequality. But now we see that the percentage of women members of parliament in our National Assembly and in House of Representatives has reached to 33%.
Furthermore, President Samia and her government have improved healthcare services for women and girls, particularly maternal health programs and reproductive health education, which have reduced maternal mortality by 80%, leading her to be presented with the Global Goalkeepers Award by Gates Foundation.
This is why, upon assuming this high office, I pledge that in addition to investing in health facilities and staff, we would prioritize maternal and child health. Since 2021, we have undertaken various measures to improve reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, and adolescent health, as well as nutrition. It is encouraging to note that due to various strategic interventions, maternal mortality ratio has declined.
As President Samia Suluhu Hassan is about to mark 4 years in office, her impact on gender equality in Tanzania is undeniable. Through her leadership, she has broken barriers, challenged stereotypes, and set a good example for future generation of women leaders. Her tenure serves as a testament to the fact that women can lead and bring about transformative change in the society. With the progress made so far, the progress of gender equality in Tanzania looks promising. However, the journey is far from over. Continued efforts are required to sustain and build upon achievements of the past 4 years. If this momentum continues, Tanzania will remain a leading example of how women's leadership can drive national development and inclusivity. Caroline Melewo, TVC News.
The government, through the Ministry of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, remains committed to fostering a conducive environment for media operations while emphasizing youth engagement in the information sector. Speaking to TBC News, Deputy Minister of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Hamis Winjuma, expresses his admiration for the increasing number of young professionals at the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC. Rioba Steven reports.
Over the weekend, Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, had the privilege of hosting the Deputy Minister of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Hamis Winjuma, on his first official visit to its offices in Dar es Salaam. His visit affirms government's dedication to enhancing inclusivity and supporting youth participation in information, culture, arts and sports.
I'm impressed with the number of young generation people that are working for TBC right now. I'm sure they are the ones that make TBC able to compete in the industry, but also I'm sure they're taking so much experience for the old folks that are here. And in a few years, they'll be like the legends of this news sector. I'm sure of that. So many young generation, Gen Z, are here at TBC, and I'm sure they are learning so much from these legends that have been working for TBC for over the years.
During his visit, the Deputy Minister also shared his perspective on whether mainstream media holds greater credibility compared to the digital media.
I think the mainstream holds the bigger part of this news sector, but you know, with digital, it's faster. Wherever it happens, and everybody can be a news person. So mainstream will always be used as a, as you keep it, TBC ukweli na uhakika. For someone who wants the verification of what he has been reading somewhere, he has been heard that have been said, will always come back to mainstream media to verify the news. So the mainstream media will always hold the title of verification.
On his part, Dr. Ayubu Rioba, Director General of TBC, expresses his appreciation for the visit. He also outlines TBC commitment leading up to the general election later this year.
The good thing is our Deputy Minister knows the industry very well. He, from the background of the sector he worked before he became a politician, he must have worked very closely with the media. So we are delighted to have met and discussed and showed him around and listened from him whatever he had to, direct us to improve on whatever we are doing. But he was very much impressed by, the level of, development and improvement here at TBC. He was particularly impressed by the presence of many young people who are working in our newsrooms, especially in TBC2 and also TBC Digital. TBC is a public service broadcaster, and by virtue of being a public service broadcaster, we have obligations, legal obligations, that we will have to meet when we are covering elections. For example, during campaigns, we will have to cover all the political parties and all the candidates equitably, but we have the obligation of providing voter education, which we have started already, like we did during the local government elections last year. And we will be interrogating party policies and manifestos and letting people know what these parties stand for in these elections, but also what the candidates stand for. And we will do that diligently. We've done it in the past. Like I said, in the last local elections, we did that. So we also expect to do that. And people should expect to be more informed, to know more about policies, about parties, and about candidates through TBC platforms, including digital platforms.
In February 2025, the Tanzanian Parliament enacted a new law aimed at enhancing TBC's operation framework. This legislation empowers the corporation to invest in modern broadcasting infrastructures, expanding its reach to a global audience. Rioba Steven, TBC.
Some poultry farmers in Dar es Salaam say for the sector to continue to grow, capital and continuous training are critical, insisting improved sector's operations will in turn contribute to the country's economy and GDP. They made a remark immediately after the special training to build farmers' capacity focusing on drug-free farming activities.
I suggest that experts should reach local animal keepers so as to reduce costs and to allow them to practice modern farming. Majority of animal keepers are women. I urge the government to offer us interest-free loans so as to allow us to practice modern animal keeping.
Our main challenge is absence of market to sell our chicken, so we need a joint effort to sell our chicken at a profitable price.
On the other hand, the manager of True Nutrition Tanzania, Joseph Joachim, says that they are working hand in hand with the government to enable poultry farmers to be able to identify poultry diseases and how to produce drug-free supplements.
We are focusing on educating the society on how to identify and avoid animal diseases so that they can practice beneficial animal keeping. We are also educating them on how to produce animal food themselves.
The training has been coordinated by True Nutrition Tanzania and is attended by more than 100 poultry farmers from the coast region and Dar es Salaam. Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now take a look at today's exchange rates that are according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Up next is international news. In international news, the SADC Executive Secretary Elias Magosi says the low implementation of policies aimed at promoting women participation and decision-making positions are addressing gender-based violence remains a challenge in the region. Here are more details.
Magosi, in a statement to mark the International Women's Day, highlighted the lack of enforcement of policies, despite SADC adopting reforms to promote gender equality and empowerment. The SADC Protocol on Gender and Development underscores integrating gender issues into the SADC program of actions and community-building initiatives. Magosi stressed that while the SADC region remains committed to gender equality, barriers such as societal roles, legal frameworks, limited access to resources, and discriminatory practices persist. He urged SADC member states to take swift and decisive steps to achieve gender equality in all spheres. Magosi revealed that the region has also identified strategies to accelerate action towards the achievement of gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls. These include forging partnerships for resource mobilization, supporting women and girls in leadership roles, and promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mpanyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.